Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Well, I'm in a better mood today, thank God for that. Oh my God. Okay, let's get into some news. I won't be here for the next 2 days. I won't be back till Saturday morning, which is Friday night, UK and US time, because I'm actually looking after my mum for 2 nights, 3 days. She's coming today and she'll be here till Friday, so I won't be back till Saturday, so there you go. Liz Churchill says Bill Gates owns 6 mansions, Bill Gates owns 20 plus cars, Bill Gates owns a private jet, Bill Gates wants to give you 500 plus vaccines for your health to fight climate change while whining about overpopulation. Bill Gates belongs in prison. And I happen to agree. Mind you, everyone here mentioned here today is innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. But listen to this. Dark Fry says, is this true, Pelosi, insider trading? Breaking, the CEO of United Healthcare was set to testify against Nancy Pelosi in an insider trading case. Nancy Pelosi should be in jail for her role in J6 and insider trading, and he was the one who was shot. Allegedly, apparently. Makes a bit of sense now, doesn't it? What have you been up to, you little mafia ghoul? She's involved with the IRA too, apparently, allegedly. Allegedly, I did a video on it. It's on Rumble. It was a year or 2 ago. I don't know. Have a look. Paul A. Zipula said United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson had very close ties to Nancy Pelosi, who helped him get huge government grants. How much did Pelosi profit off her relationship with Thompson? Did she benefit financially from his passing? Investigate Pelosi. Data Hazard said Nancy Pelosi's niece should not be paid $181,648 by the US taxpayer to be the climate advisor at HUD. Oh dear God. Seriously? Cushy jobs, nepotism, hello. Anyway. Jack said, breaking, Liz Cheney warns that any lawyer who investigates member of the J6 committee will be engaging in conduct subject to sanctions. Is she even in the government anymore? Blow it wide open, honestly. Blow it wide open. Johnny Magus said Nancy Pelosi's daughter's been on the ground curing ballots with a volunteer army in California. And now 2 seats in Congress are about to flip blue. The election was 18 days ago. You insane little shit. Sorry.
My life, my love is curing ballots with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. I'm off to the Central Valley to cure ballots in California 13. Join me, mobilize.us/Team Pelosi. My life.
I don't want to hear her singing again. Christine Pelosi says, grateful to everyone working the Democrats' ballot cure phone banks with our volunteer army today. House Dems will flip CA13 and CA45 because the voters chose change and progress. Really? I thought that needs to be investigated just a little bit. You know, I'm sure if they didn't dig very deep, they'd find something anyway. But no, it needs to be investigated full on. She needs to be, this whole family. It's like the Biden family and the Clinton family. And now we got the Pelosi family. Anti-WEF said our politicians are committing treason, like actual treason. You know that, right? Yep, everyone in every country, our politicians are committing treason. Doesn't matter what country you're in, they're all doing it. Ripple Lord said XRP newsflash because Ripple's been on a bit of a downturn and I think people are selling because they're panicking. Sit on it. Have some patience. It's okay. XRP newsflash. XRP has been approved by VARA, the Dubai Financial Services Authority. This approval allows XRP to be used through Dubai for global money transfers. Not just there. Sean said, breaking, Eric Trump confirms President Trump's plan to make American cryptocurrencies such as Algo, ADA, XRP and HBAR tax-free. I was the first public source of this story and reported on it. This will put non-American crypto at a minus 37% tax advantage. So you got that. XRP Avengers says, how many people quitting on XRP right now? How people quitting on XRP right now look like? The worst time to quit on XRP is right now, because this is how close it is. Because we're closer than ever. You just look, when you get crypto, doesn't matter if it goes down or up or whatever, you just got to ride it out. Okay, just ride it out. Okay, Levi, Crypto Crusaders. XRP parabolic cycle pullbacks be like, these are the newbies going, oh my God, no. Us whole people who are holding, sitting there eating chips and popcorn, and the traders are going, oh my God. Okay, anyway. Yep, I'm pretty all right with it. It'll do what it's going to do, and I'm just sitting here watching. Senator Gerard Rennick said the pressure now being applied to farmers to produce carbon methane neutral food is absurd. It's not just a safety issue, but an entire regulation cost issue as well. This extra burden cost on farmers will push the smaller ones out of business, accelerating the decline of family farms. We have a cost of living crisis. We don't need to increase the cost of food any more than necessary. We're already paying higher energy bills to appease the climate change alarmist. We don't need to pay higher food bills as well. I've got news for you. We are. I don't know if you've noticed how much food's gone up in the last 4 years. The gas coming out of my cows is not nearly as dangerous as the BS coming out of our government. And that would go for every country. Okay, the opinionated black woman auntie said Queensland authorities have launched an urgent investigation into the whereabouts of 323 virus samples missing from a government-run high-tech virology laboratory. Now, would you really trust the government? Do you really? If they're losing 323 virus samples. Anything the government touch turns to crap, right? Not that I don't think you should have these anyway. The incident, called a serious breach of biosecurity, happened in 2021, but was only discovered in 2023, like everything else. The laboratory is involved in researching infectious viruses caught from mosquitoes and ticks. The lost material includes 100 samples of the deadly Hendra virus, along with Lyssavirus and Hantavirus. They appear to have gone missing after freezer storing the samples broke down via Epoch Times. Investigation underway as Queensland lab loses deadly virus samples. Yeah. Only 2 years later they find out, you know. Like by then everyone could be dead. Not that I believe in. I just don't. I'm not going to panic over anything, thank you very much. Mark Allen said, I guess that someone from the Property Council or Business Council has sat down with him to explain that a cut to migration will result in falling GDP, falling property prices and a loss of support from their property developer donors. Dutton walks back promise to cut net migration. Well, I'd like to hear it from his own mouth because I don't trust the ABC. But, yeah, if he has, that's exactly what's happened. Hank Myers said, when does this bloke ever stop lying? He even had selfies taken at the Cottesloe Tennis Club. Okay, this guy was saying he was not at the tennis club playing tennis or golf or anywhere when a synagogue was bombed in Melbourne, I believe. That's what I'm getting from this. Clown Down Under said, I wasn't playing tennis on Saturday morning, PM Anthony Albanese. Well, just hang in there because I've got footage. Batman says, city folk, take a drive to the countryside, open your eyes, see the cows eating the grass, open fields. Can you smell cow farts? No? Now grow up. Matthew Kamanzuli said politicians in Australia believe they're living on stolen land. They also believe in swamping the country with uncontrolled immigration. Even though the new migrants are being promised opportunities that do not exist, how can you hold all of those key ideas at the same time? That's a bit of cognitive dissonance, isn't it? Graham Young said, so the French can produce nuclear power at $85.61 per megawatt hours, but CSIRO here in Australia says it can only be produced for $300 to $500. Are we in a parallel universe, or should the CSIRO be defunded? The CSIRO should be defunded. I rang them back in 2010 and had a go at them because they were promoting GMO foods. And I was sick. And I said, well, I hope you don't get sick from it. And they pretty much blocked me and told me not to contact them again. So, yeah, there you go. I have been a Karen in the past. But on the good side, you know, contacting the CSIRO and saying, what are you putting in our food and how do we know it's safe? And I hope you or your families don't get sick from eating the food. Old soldier said I was a leader once. When needed, you drop everything. Your personal needs do not rate at that time. Albo should have got his personal jet and flown to Melbourne. Pictures from a local player at Cottesloe Tennis Club show the Prime Minister in tennis whites and shorts playing in the sun on Saturday while the Melbourne Jewish community was reeling from the firebombing of the Odysee Israel synagogue. So there you go. He's just out playing tennis while this happens. Yeah, just shows he's an absolute liar. Alexandra Marshall said the entire Islamic world is a basket case. Let's just hope our leaders don't spend any of our money on it. Oh, guaranteed they will. I'm pretty sure they're going to fund both sides like they do. They've already given Hamas money. And Israel. Okay, anyway, Dr. Simon Godek said, when I was a child, no one was autistic, vegan, gluten-free or confused about their gender. What changed? A whole lot of propaganda. Yep, it's called social engineering 101. Okay, if you watch the TV long enough, then you sit back and think about things for a while, you tend to realise that they have been steering everybody. It doesn't matter whether it's movies, TV shows, news, advertisements. It's all of it. The opinionated black woman auntie said, what fresh hell is this? Okay, what is this? Today on Pansexual and Panromantic Day, everyone deserves to feel seen, respected and supported, no matter who they love. Create a world where everyone feels proud to be themselves. Pansexual Pride Day. Well, you know what pan is? Anything goes. Anything. Like Aleister Crowley. Animals are not out. Children are not out. Okay? Anything goes. That's what that means. Okay, Craig Kelly said Australia is being destroyed. Australia not only has the lowest share of manufacturing jobs of any OECD country, but since 2008 in percentage terms, our manufacturing sector has gone backwards faster than anywhere else in the world, almost halving from 11% of unemployment to just 6%. And we have clown shows like Albanese and Boeing running around with their future made in Australia propaganda. Anyone that is stupid enough to believe such BS deserves what's coming. As Leif van Onselen notes, according to OECD data, Australia's decline in household income has also been the largest in the developed world. The Australian economy remains wholly reliant on the public sector and population growth, immigration. This has resulted in too many low productivity, non-market sector jobs. High energy costs have also hollowed out Australia's manufacturing base, further destroying productivity growth. Australia will remain a low productivity, low income growth economy if it follows the same Ponzi paradigm. Okay, well, there's Australia right down rock bottom. The Netherlands is just above Australia, New Zealand, Canada's just above that, United Kingdom's just above that, but they've slid down pretty far. Got Sweden. Oh, sorry, this is United Kingdom here. It's gone brrr. No, that was, who is it? It's hard to tell. That could be New Zealand. I don't know. I'm trying to work out. Okay, that one's United Kingdom. Still went down a fair bit. But this here, whatever it is, Canada, you've sunk pretty low, haven't you? And so has New Zealand. They followed you, but we're right down here. Where's the United States? Huh, they're missing. Am I blind or are they just not there? Okay, it doesn't look like the United States are there. No, okay. I would like to see the United States as well in comparison. Net zero is destroying Australian manufacturing and has been since the 90s. Aussie Rod said that's probably the intent. I suspect the subterfuge goal is more to do with empowering China, both financially and militarily. They need the former to achieve the latter. I sourced components worldwide. 600-ton component from China was not much cheaper than France at 10 years back. Careful manipulation by some kind of global cartel wearing Schwab stickers is resulting in an artificial monopolization of industry. That means we can now only source from the communist superpower. You can't have a military to defend or attack without having industry. Steelworks, automotive, like Australia once had long ago. Paul Keating, Bob Hawke, just early Fabians who set out to help the Reds, and some noticed. Yep, including Mel Gibson. I noticed in the 90s they were sending jobs overseas. Panzer Pete said time for change, sinking Australia's future, these three. Wong, Bowen and Albanese. Okay, so that's that one. James Woods said the reason we lost the joy of... Okay, I'll read this one first. Josh Dunlap said Michelle Obama will be remembered as... James Woods said the reason we lost the joy of having Joan Rivers in our lives. Yeah, because it wasn't long after she said Michelle Obama was a man that she died. Charlie Kirk said Jordan Neely's dad has already filed a lawsuit against Daniel Penny on Wednesday of last week while the jury was still deliberating. Andre Zachary filed a suit in New York Supreme Court seeking damages in a sum which exceeds the jurisdictional limits of all lower courts which would otherwise have jurisdiction. Daniel Penny may be free, but they still want to ruin his life and bankrupt him. Yes, well, Jordan Neely's dad, right? Where were you when Jordan Neely was homeless, drug addict, and robbing and hurting people? Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Jesse Morgan said breaking concerns are rising among military officials that Pete Hegseth, if confirmed as Secretary of Defence, could dismiss up to 20 woke generals and high-ranking officers. Well, I can't see anything wrong with that, can you? Alexandra Marshall said, I'll never stop believing the United Nations is a means to allow foreign powers to govern sovereign nations by stealth. Yes, we've known that for many years now. Australia needs to stop giving those criminals money and start making decisions in the interest of this country and its allies as we see fit. And I am thankful that people are standing up and saying something. Because years ago, when I first woke up, you felt really, really alone. Like, I know you feel alone right now. Some of you who are just waking up, you might feel a bit alone right now. But back then, oh my goodness, everyone was going at you. If you said anything about anything, you were told to put your tinfoil hat back on. You were a conspiracy theorist. You were nuts. You were everything. But anyway, I'm glad people are waking up. It really does help. The more people that say things, the better. The class act, Ty Cordova, said never forget Jay-Z shot his brother in their Brooklyn home. Did he really? Soul cracked to everyone in his neighbourhood, stabbed a record producer in the stomach, assaulted a female fan, raped a 13-year-old girl with Diddy, and then accused Donald Trump of bringing out the ugly side of America. Really? Is it the ugly side just people who won't let you get away with doing whatever you want to do? Is that what it is? Because I'm thinking that's what it is. Epstein Sheet said, when you know, you know. One day I'm going to make this young man my wife. And look, he did. Congratulations. Except he doesn't look very female. Okay, now this one. This one's going to be a bit of a threat, okay? But this will apply to every government, you might as well say. This is by table salt. The Canadian federal government doles out $102 billion per year, a quarter of the total budget. In an opaque slush fund titled Other Transfer Payments, this money is tax-free and only one list exists online and it's hard to find. Here's where the money is going. Buckle up. Other transfer payments, okay? Okay. Virtually no information exists on where this money's going. Budget documents include one paragraph on this fund. Other transfer payments by departments are projected to increase to $112.8 billion in 2029. Growth reflects growing profiles such as Canadian Dental Care Plan benefits and support for electric vehicle batteries. But I found the mother lode. I'm not sure if that's how you spell it, but I would have spelt it LOAD. But anyway, it might be different spelling in different countries. A virtually never visited Public Accounts of Canada webpage titled Volume 3, Section 6 Transfer Payments lists where every department is sending this money. Agriculture and Agri-Food, Canadian Heritage, Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs, Economic Development Agency of Canada for the regions of Quebec, Employment, Workforce Development and Disability Inclusion, Environment and Climate Change, Finance, Fisheries, Oceans and the Canadian Coast Guard, Global Affairs, Health, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, Indigenous Services, Innovation, Science and Industry, Intergovernmental Affairs, Infrastructure and Communities, Justice, National Defence, National Revenue, National Resources, Office of the Governor-General Secretary, Parliament, Privy Council, Public Safety, Public Services and Procurement, Transport, Treasury Board, Veterans Affairs, Women, Gender Equality and Youth, Appendix 1, Canada Revenue Agency, and Appendix 2, Employment and Social Development Canada. Sounds like a socialist wet dream. This website contains a never-ending list of government favouritism. It's a $100 billion slush fund. Here are some examples. Regroup D. Oh, I can't even read that. Females from violence, something or other, 199,108. Renfrew County Sexual Assault Rape Crisis Support Centre, Pembroke, Ontario, 111,164. Rise Women's Legal Centre, Vancouver, British Columbia, 179,000. Rowan House Society, High River, Alberta, 200,000. Samson Cree Nation, Masquasas, Alberta. Sorry, I've said that wrong. I know I have. 149,000. The Sexual Assault Centre at Kensington, Kensington, Ontario, 234,000. Shelter Movers, Toronto, Ontario, 521,000. Society Informed LA's Society, Vancouver, British Columbia, 115,000. South Asian Women's Centre, Toronto, 127,000. Sudbury Women's Centre, Sudbury, Ontario, Ontario, 133,000. Supporting Women's Alternative Network Society, what the hell do half of these even mean? 134,760. Surrey Women's Centre Society, Surrey, British Columbia, 233,500. The Elizabeth Fry Society of Greater Vancouver, New Westminster, British Columbia, 171,000. The Joy Smith Foundation, 209,000. The Redwood for Women and Children Fleeing Abuse, 125,000. UCCM, Anishinaabe Police Services Commission, 359,000. Vancouver and Lower Maitland Multicultural Family Support Services Society, Burnaby, British Columbia, 247,000. And something else down below with 176,000. Can't read that. Oh, here we go. Is this it? The rest of it? Oh, dear God. Looks like an arts centre, 110,000. National Youth Orchestra, Association of Canada, 800,000. Opera de Montreal, Quebec, 300,000. Why is the opera getting 300,000? An orchestra? Oh, that's what I'm kind of reading. 209,000, though I don't understand French at all. I'm very sorry. Out Inner Space Dance Theatre and Film Society, 170,000. Nunavut Performing Arts Centre, 400,000. Rossini Opera Festival, Nova Scotia, 100,000. Dance Academy, 155,000. Theatre Company, 100,000. Ballet Company, 190,000. The Banff Centre, 2,135,000. The Canadian Heritage Arts Society, 325,000. You know what arts do, don't you? Yeah, those live art, you know, children and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm asking. The Centre for Indigenous Theatre, 765,000. The Okanagan Indian Educational Resources Society, 320,000. The Remix Project, 130,000. The Royal Conservatory of Music, 1,760,000. Ballet, 775,000. School of Contemporary Dances, 325,000. School of Toronto Dance Theatre, 325,000. And the Stratford Shakespearean Festival of Canada, 310,000. Holy guacamole. Incentives for Zero Emission Vehicles Program. Abbotsford, British Columbia, 212,000. I don't know who these are. They're all numbers. Okay. BC Ltd and then Canada Inc., Canada Inc., Canada Inc., Canada Inc. in all different areas. Don't know what that means. If you hear a beeping, I hear it too. Okay. I don't know where it's coming from. Something's beeping. I can't work out what it is. Table Salt said McCain's Foods. Wow. Government of Northwest Territories, Yellowknife, Nova Scotia, Nunavut, Prince Edward Island, Charlottetown, Yukon, BP Canada. What's that? I don't know. Can't read the rest of it. De Lafarge Canada, Loblaws Inc., Manitoba Mietz Federation, I don't know. Markham District Energy, it's fun trying to read these words. McCain Foods, Canada. McGill University, Montreal. Look, you should stop financing universities for a start. But a lot of this, I don't know. What is going on here? Pinnacle Renewable Energy, of course they do renewable energy. Don't know what these are. Quadrille Property Group. Sask Power Regina. Scotiaway Inc., Bedford. The Verschuren Centre. Thunderbolt Energy Assets. Dear me. Food and Agriculture Organisation, Rome, Italy. They're getting 17 million of it. Wow. You're given... This isn't from... What? From Canada. Grants for Counterterrorism Capacity Building Program, 23 million. International Criminal Police Organisation in France, 1.5 million. International Organisation for Migration, Geneva, Switzerland, 4 million, 4.5 million actually. Specialised Department of Public Finances Abroad, France, 750,000. The United Nations, Geneva, Switzerland, 16 million. Oh, Jesus. 279,004. To the United Nations. Look, all our countries would be better off if we didn't send the United Nations anything at all. Grants for the Anti-Crime Capacity Building Program, 13 million. Canadian Commercial Corporation, Ottawa, Ontario, 1.5 million, nearly. International Criminal Police Organisation in France, 300,000. International Organisation for Migration in Geneva, Switzerland, which is the UN by the sounds of it, 330,000. Justice Education Society of British Columbia, Vancouver, British Columbia, 500,000. Organisation of American States, Washington District of Columbia, 1.9 million, nearly 2 million. And United Nations again in Geneva, Switzerland for another 8 million, 8.5 million. Wow. You guys, the list is so long that when I try and figure out how many pages it is by trying to print it, it crashes my PC. Millions upon millions to global banks. Wow. Losses on foreign exchange on transfer payments, 10,000. Payments to international financial institution, direct payments, international development financial institution, 337.5 million. African Development Bank, Tunisia, $118 million. Manila in the Philippines, 30 million. Caribbean Bank Barbados, 20 million. Inter-American Development Bank, Fund for Special Operations in Washington, 253,000. International Fund for Agriculture Development in Rome, Italy, 25 million. Multilateral Fund for the Implementation of the Montreal Protocol, Nairobi, Kenya, 10 million. World Bank, Washington, District of Columbia, 132, nearly 133 million. Payments under the Diplomatic Service Special Superannuation Act, 408,000. Public Service Superannuation, Moncton, New Brunswick, 408,000. Annual voluntary contributions, 3.5 million. United Nations, Geneva, Switzerland, 3.5. I wonder if that's that 3.5 million. Annual host country financial support for the United Nations Convention, 1.5 million. Table Salt said, let me in there, I'll doge the fuck out of this organisation. Here is proof this fund exists. It's right from the 2024 budget. Other transfer payments. Other transfer payments. Here you are, okay? 900 million to the UN. See, we would all be better off if we got the UN out of our lives. Seriously. 70 more million for the UN. And the one above has the Aga Khan Foundation in the bottom as its bonus. Oh, there it is. 5.5 million. Millions more to the UN, as you can see. United Nations, United Nations, United Nations, United Nations, United Nations Indigenous Funds, United Nations Funds for Victims of Torture. Hang on, they're doing that to they should be paying that out to the people because they're torturing us all right now. 190 million to the Canadian Media Fund Corporation. $102 billion a year is more than Canada's OAS and GIS program. It could also solve healthcare. They also redact the name orgs who get less than $100,000 in tax-free grant money. Because why not, right? 458 million to dairy farms, all redacted. That's probably not normal dairy farms, but, you know, specialised or big corporations, I believe. Table salt, 75 million to the wine industry. 10 million for anti-racism. We're not even close, folks. There's 102 billion in there. We've covered maybe 5 billion thus far. 83 million more for print news. Where's my cut? 3.5 billion for treaty land claims. 186 million to promote women. Jesus. 44 million for climate fund in Luxembourg. I bet you the women don't get that either. 18 million to the Mennonites, then 10 million for abortions in London, UK. Millions for Islamic relief, for gigaton solar in Africa, and to the WEF. There's the World Economic Forum, Geneva, Switzerland. Happens to be the same place that the UN is at, isn't it? That is unbelievable. That is insane. Canada, no wonder. And I honestly believe that you guys aren't the only one. This will be happening in all countries. Okay, I'm just going to pause it while I write. That ending was a bit awkward, wasn't it? Okay, bye.